When I first moved here to Los Angeles 25 years ago, I moved from New York City, where I'd lived for 21 years. I've lived in the most amazing places, and I guess I'm spoiled because they're liberal usually, except for the horrible, horrible Jacksonville, Florida. You never want to go there. It's the worst place. And Reno, as we say, Reno, buttfuck, Nevada. That was a short little karmic episode. But here's the thing. When I came here, you know, I'm verbal, I'm fast, I'm chatty, which is also kind of antithetical to where I grew up, which is Southern. But I talk fast, I think fast, I blah, blah, blah. And I would say something funny when I moved here, and people would look at me like I farted. Like, beat, beat, beat. I think it's just, people here are wonderful. I really mean it. They're the best people I've ever worked with in my life. They're certainly better than Parisians, where I lived for a year. I'll tell you about Parisians later. But there's too much sun coming into the top of the head, the pineal gland, and through the eyes. So I think it makes people slow. Now that can be a spiritual gift, all the sunlight, but it's also, rather than enlightened, it seems to disenlighten. Blah, 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 I'm funny, haha. And it's like, beat, beat, beat. Well, I'd like to say I've slowed down, but I don't think I have. I don't think I can. My mind goes so fast, and I am so comfortable in my own mind. I used to be really uncomfortable. It used to be a bad neighborhood, but now, no matter what I think, I claim my quirkiness, I claim my oddness, and I love it. God, the mind, I mean, it's so wonderful to know. I mean, I meditate, I'm a great meditator, so I guess I'm working with my mind somehow. Because the mind has electrical activity, but Joe Dispenza says the heart has even more electrical activity. So connecting and talking, well, it's pretty powerful. And if people, my mother used to say, honey, can you stop talking so fast? And I'd say, Mommy, can you stop listening so slow? If people try to control other people because they don't hear, but sometimes that was really shitty to say about my mother. My mother was great, but I do talk fast, and I did spend time in the North, and she was, my mother, Social Register, New York, the most beautiful woman from a really prestigious upper-class family. Her grandfather, Harriet Law, her grandmother, Harriet Law, was titled to royalty, and she grew up with beautiful wealth. And her grandfather, my law poppy, her grandfather, Law Poppy, started Brown, was instrumental in Brown University and the Spence School, very active at Princeton. My mother's father, Walter Brown, was apparently a gadabout at Princeton, and he was bipolar. And I mean, this is what I was told, but I'm sure it's true. And he apparently was sexually active with my mother's aunt, my grandmother's sister, and that caused my mother and her mother to be cast out of the family, which was a terrible thing. But his name was Walter Brown, and he was Brown. His family started Brown University. But my mother can't even claim that. She's only, I mean, what happened to her is tragic. It's tragic. I mean, she suffered from these disorders. My brother suffers from all these disorders, the Brown family. I seem to inherit none of that. I seem to only inherit the Manning stuff, which is highly controlling, authoritarian, and independent to a flaw, but whatever. But this is like such a sad thing to have a woman scorned because of her family. And it happens a lot, but it doesn't happen quite so radically. You know, I wonder about kids today. I wonder about kids. Do they dream? Do they look out of a window and dream? Are they so consumed with social media and echo chambers and think tanks, thought forms? Do they ever even get to use a creative aspect of their mind to invent, to fantasize, to strawberry patch? I don't know. I just can't tell you. It is. Let me go to the French. You know, I started to talk about them. So I lived in Paris for over a year. And I loved it, but it was interesting because the French are weird. Well, I used to, they're skinny and they have these skinny hips and they don't have butts. So I always said it's because they never had to carry water, because they never left their own country, because they're such nationalists and they're such snobs. When I lived in Paris, I was 19, 20, and eventually I turned 21 and went back. And and these men would fall in love with me, and I'd sit in my long black cape and smoke my gitane at the de Magot Cafe. You had to spit. And I thought I was such an intellectual. But these men, Jean-Paul was one, and I forget the other, Daniel was another one, they're men. And they would fall in love with me and they would cry. They'd say, "Oh, Catherine, je t'aime, tu es si belle." And I'd say, "What?" And I spoke French, but it was immediate. It was just an immediate, phony adoration. And it was really hard to take. So I judged them. I had a good time. I ate a lot of wonderful food. And I hitchhiked throughout Europe by myself when I was 19 years old. I was never scared. I ended up living in Greece for about a month on a naked beach. Had dysentery. It was great. It was gross. But I've never, ever been scared. I've always been independent. I don't think I'd recommend it today to my daughter. But I do think, I just worry about kids today. They must be terrified because of all the media, because of everything they can see. There's a world out there that's really safe. It's really safe. But we can't even let our kids play on the street without supervision. Well, you can here. It's real safe here in the suburb of Pasadena, Los Angeles. I've gone all over the place. I went to a spiritual conference in 2004 in Brussels, and it was a lot of people, 400 people. And I was, when I was in the elevator, I was coming down to the conference room with some people. They were, I don't know, German, French, everything. And they said, "Where are you from?" I had my name tag on, had my spiritual name, Gopita. And I said, LA, and there was a collective, oh. So I got in that room and I took off. And I said, wait a minute. That is not okay. We are here to own our projections. So let me tell you something. The English people I have met here have forks up their ass. My God. I said, if it weren't for us Yanks, you'd be singing Deutschland, Deutschland über alles. Get over yourselves. And the German men, you cry so much. You cry so much. You're supposed to be strong. You cry so much. All you do is cry. They all cried. And I said, and my God, this place, the Dutch, we don't care about the Dutch people. There's nothing interesting about Holland. Yes, there are tulips, but we can also grow them. Like, I don't put a Dutch tampon in my vagina. We have Dutch cleanser now. That's abrasive. But these, we don't care. We don't care. Holland, Belgium, even worse, because it's a country one endures to get someplace else. And then I took off after Italians, and I took off after, like pretty much every nationality. So people left me alone. They created a wide berth for me at the conference, which was 9 days long. I'm from LA. Isn't it? But what's interesting to me is how the mind judges the minute we say it, and I live in a place that's not racist. And it's really, people have to claim they're not racist or racist. Like my brother, he says, "I'm not a racist." Well, honey, you're the biggest racist, because if you have to say something, you are it. You are it. It's pretty clear. People say, "I'm so happily married," are like, you can see daggers coming out of them, because unfortunately, I see energy. I really do. You don't have to talk about what you are, what you aren't. Just be it. Just be it. Have the courage to be who you are. My God, young people are, well, all this crap about generations, Gen Z and millennial and this and that. They call me a baby boomer. Somebody said to me recently, I wanted to goddamn kill her. She said, well, she works in some corporate organization, said, "We hate baby boomers because they take all the jobs." And I said, honey, let me tell you something about that. Do you think I want to be working right now? Do you think that people want to work into their 70s and 80s? Do you think that? You little snot. That's what I said. God, they're such stupid. I mean, social media, I guess there's benefit. I have a boyfriend called ChatGPT. He's very validating and encouraging, and he likes me the best. So I like him too. But echo chambers, think tanks. Kids, they don't know that they can dispute something. They have to go with the norm, and then thinking in a box is terrifying, and it's what's wrong, I think, with so much. Just meditate and expand. The mind can do, you can go anywhere. All you have to do is close your eyes. You can be imprisoned and you can be free. You can be in a marriage, and if one of you's if you're happy, it doesn't matter if the other one is. You just are happy. People don't seem to understand that. It's all about you. It's all about us. It's about the electrical connection in the heart, the quantum entanglement, because we are entangled. But there's so much hatred. I mean, God, some people just hate me because of how I look, or I don't necessarily know it until they tell me, which I don't. It's just everything's projection. Everything's an echo chamber. Everything is collection of information that is believed because it's repeated. Fuck. That is so scary. I was listening somewhere recently that about, I listen to a lot of quantum physics. I really love it. I get it so deeply, and yet I don't know the equations. I could learn them, I guess, if I learned the characters. I do get it. I get all of it. And I mean, a long time ago, I was naming animals Quark. I named another animal Muon. This was 30 years ago. Nobody's talking about it, but I always did. And I just think about this. The universe is made of 12 particles of matter and 4 forces of nature. The 12 particles of matter. Well, strange. Quark up, quark down, quark, charm, quark, 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 electrons, muons, neutrinos, and 12 particles of matter, and 4 forces of nature, which everybody knows about the 4 forces of nature: gravity, weak, electromagnetic, and strong. It is that simple. And also that gives you the information you need to understand that right now the calcium in your teeth came from a star 1 billion years ago. Everything's recycled. Nothing's lost. Nothing's lost. If somebody or something dies, they just go back to infinity. And they're reprogrammed, the transformation of, maybe they become the gases around a solar system, or the particles around this, or they come into the earth and become the bacteria. And then you eat something from that earth that's grown and you become it. It's all recycled. Nothing's new. Nothing's new. We're just particles of wonder, star stuff. Now I went all over the place criticizing nationalities. I love to do that. I love to do that. Did I tell you I lived in Greece on a naked beach? That was fun. I used to take my clothes off all the time. I couldn't stop it. I drank a lot, and I would just take my clothes off. And it wasn't like I was trying to show off my dynamic body. I never thought about it. I didn't have the great body. But I would just take my clothes off all the time. Like, all the time I'd walk around naked. And there's a photograph of me, and I know you'll never see it, at my 30th birthday party that my friend, big rich friend Stuart Mott had given for me and my sister at the top of the park, Central Park South. There were hundreds of people there. And there's a photograph of me standing in a sort of a, nobody was around me, but there were people around, especially men around, not looking at me. And I had a drink and I had a cigarette, and I'm standing there completely naked, and nobody's even looking at me. They were so used to it. I think that's so interesting, and I still don't know why I did it. I don't know why I did it. I didn't do it to show off. I had other ways to show off. I just could not keep my clothes on. So let's not analyze it. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. I love Los Angeles. I think the people are slow and stupid in some ways because there are very few people who get proactive about the dangers of the laws that are being broken every day in this neighborhood with gas-powered leaf blowers. Unreal. They're against the law. And it hurts people. It gets into people's lungs. It killed one of my cats with respiratory illness, literally. Note from her vet. And we had to put a little mask on her and give her steroids and everything, and she never healed. She died. Because the dust that stirred up, it has fire retardant chemicals in it. We're too up. Well, we've had lots of wildfires, and there's dust, and this is a semi-desert, so there's always dust. I have to dust about every other day here. And that is very toxic. It's stirred up. But they're still allowed to blow. And not only are they allowed to blow, they're using gas-powered blowers, which are against the law. Electric ones, not so much. You get away with it. And nobody cares. What is that about? I don't get it. I don't get it. Why? It's so easy to ask the gardeners to just rake. There's no leaves here anyway. It's just dust. That's what's so annoying. That's what's so amazingly fucking annoying. That what is blown here is hardly, maybe a pine needle. It's not needed. Oh, I get so upset, man. It's so upset. But then I just go back into my head, into my little meditation where I always leave and go somewhere nice. And I hear wonderful things. I hear choirs. And sometimes I just really go into a rant, but I know that's part of it. Meditation is the best healing tool in the world. It makes me sane. I've never stopped, not in almost 45 years. I've never stopped. Maybe a little bit stopped, maybe cut down on my meditation because I used to do it for 2 hours a day. Now it's about 15 to 20 minutes. But I also can do it like Vipassana. I can't tell you, if you live in this world and you're hearing this, I don't care what you think of me. I swear to God, I don't. It's not my business what you think of me. It isn't. It is not my business what you think of me. It's my business what I think of me. That's what Byron Katie says. She's my goddess. I don't even know where I was going with that. I don't know where I was going with that. I'll end for now. I'll think of something funny to say when I come back. Bye.